What's going on, everybody? This is the Prince, one half of the Elevated Barbers Podcast, also the owner of Royal Luxe Grooming, and I'm here with my co-host, Bradford, the businessman and barber.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My name is Bradford Kelly, and I'm the owner of Another Level of Barbering, and I am the proud co-host here with Tay Diggs. Go ahead. Today we have a stud coming from Texas, and we're going to introduce you in just a second. He's going to be giving us some insights about business, about starting products, and about how to really create a good business as a barber. Welcome to the stage, Lasana.
Man, what's going on, Bradford? How you doing? Prince, what's going on?
What's going on, man? You here on the Elevated Barbers Podcast with Tupac and Tay Diggs.
That's what it is. Hey, look. That's what we're going with today, man. I thought it was DMX. I thought it was DMX at first.
He could pass for both.
I got a few looks.
Hey, look.
Yeah, he got a few looks.
He threw me for a loop when he said Tay Diggs. I said, oh. Hey, he coming with the switches. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he got a few of them. He looked like Norris Chestnut. Look like Morris Chestnut.
Morris Hazelnut.
Who was Boris Kojo?
Oh man, we don't.
Boris Boho.
Brad would be Boris Coco.
That boy crazy.
Well, we gotta talk. Who are you, Lasana? Who are you? You know what I mean?
I already know what they call me. Sure, I got a couple of them.
He Prince T'Challa, man.
What's his name? David Ruffin from the Temptations.
Prince T'Challa.
Steve Urkel. Oh yeah, they had a couple for me growing up.
Okay.
Oh man.
All right,
Never
man.
mind.
Well, introduce yourself a little bit, man. Tell the people who you are and where you're from and what you doing.
100%, man. Well, my name is Lasana Sirleaf. I operate out of Fort Worth, Texas. I am the owner of Kutterconcepts Barber Studio. I love barbering. I love people, most and foremost, and I love my family. 100%. That's who I do it for. That's who I thrive for. That's who I strive for. But yeah, barbering, that's my first love. A little bit more about myself. My family is from Liberia, West Africa. I'm the youngest of many, many siblings. I was telling Prince earlier, I have 8 sisters. I have 8 sisters. Yeah, multiple brothers. Some are still overseas. All my sisters are here, but I still got family overseas. 8 sisters and 4 of them are licensed cosmetologists. So man, I've been,
I said it's in the bloodline.
Man, bro, like I've been around here since I was a little guy. As long as I can remember. Like I remember waking up in the morning and seeing my sister early in the morning braiding. She had hair laid out on the arm of the couch, on the back of the couch, on the seat cushions, braiding. Had a whole line. So I was always around here, man.
Well, that's tight, man. So when did you want to make this a actual profession? When did you want to take this into your life as something serious and not just a hustle and not just a hobby?
Man, bro, honestly, bro, like probably ever since I was about like 14, 15, about 14, 15. Like I always tell people, y'all remember when y'all was young and like the teachers or a grown man would ask the kids what they want to do when they grow up? What would everybody say?
Doctor, lawyer, teacher, fireman, police,
engineer. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody say engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, but I always wanted to cut hair. I always wanted to be a barber. So
you said I want to be a barber?
Well, I say I want to own a business.
Nice.
I would say I want to own a business. I want to be a business owner. I always had the mindset of like carrying a briefcase, wearing a suit and going to a high rise somewhere. Cause that was my mindset of a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I always want to be a business owner. But as I got older, I started cutting hair, started cutting my nephews. And that's when I realized I wanted to be a barber. And I was about 14, 15.
Oh, that's cool, man. So you was what? That's sophomore year in high school?
15, about freshman. Cause I went to school a year late because of my birthday, so freshman.
You got held back?
Gotcha.
No, I was born late. I was born in November.
Yeah.
I was always the oldest one.
He said it ain't his fault, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, look what I said. I'm talking about I was born late. Like, nigga, how was you born? How was you born late?
Yeah, they didn't have me on time.
I said that. I said, what?
Yeah.
I was supposed to be here in April, but I came in November.
Right. The checkers ain't going to savings yet. I had to withdraw from the savings and go to the checkers.
The way my mom's womb was set up, I had to check.
My daddy was busy. He was busy.
Man,
Yeah,
so
bro.
Delmar, man, I want to give you a little big backstory of how me and Lasana got connected, man. So we were actually both taking
I met
class.
Lasana on your first class that you hosted. But give me the backstory because I want to hear it.
Yeah, no, so
forgot
me
about
and
that,
Lasana, I did. You remember that, Lasana?
Yeah. The first class, the first seminar you hosted. Yeah. Yeah, the seminar. Yes, indeed. I remember that. I had just got a phone call. It caught me off guard, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me and Lasana, we were actually taking a class from somebody. Well, we name drop. It's all good. We took a class from Israel Wright.
Nice.
And
100%.
we were the two students that had paid for this class, and it was pretty significant, the price point that he was asking for, but we both felt like it was worth it at that time. And I was really just I didn't know who was gonna be there, right? And it was just me and Lasana in his class.
100%. Yeah, bro.
And he was Israel. He was dropping some very good knowledge and everything. But what was really cool was that Lasana was active in the class, and then on top of being active in the class, he actually wanted to stay connected after the class. And I was like, oh, okay, like he cool, like so let me stay in contact with him. But he was hungry to grow in this industry, and he was willing to invest in himself so that he could grow. And I was just like, this is exactly the space that I'm in, so I want peers that's similar to me, right? And me and him, we stayed connected ever since. So it's been a good friendship.
100%. Been a pleasure.
Yeah. So
we had that class, man. I was able to meet Lasana, and we've been in contact on IG ever since.
100%, man. In the DMs and on the post, man. It's been good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been real good.
Speaking of posts, man, you've been killing it.
Hey,
killing it. No, you really have been killing it. And you could, I know, just because I'm very into business, right? I'm very into growth of the business, growth of your clientele, growth of just your mental, so that you can approach business the right way. And I look at your posts and I'm like, okay, he's tapped into something, and I can tell that you're growing. You're using what you're learning. But if you don't mind, man, can you please share the transition from what Kutterconcepts used to be and how it became Kutterconcepts?
Okay. Well, that's a good question. I can really go a few ways with that question right there. So you're asking what it used to be and how it came to what it is now?
And how did it become Kutterconcepts?
Okay, cool. So from what it used to be. So before it was even Kutterconcepts, it was King Kutter, right?
King Kutter.
Yeah, it was King Kutter. And even before that, I was just Lasana. I was just cutting hair. So before I even got into the industry, I already had my own perception on what barbering was. You get paid every day. You get to wear what you want to wear at work. It's a fast life. You get to chill. You get freedom. This, that, and the third. So when I got into my first barbershop, I quickly realized that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Because I wanted barbering to do so much for me. So from when I say you can wear what you want to wear, that's not really the case. I thought, man, I can go to work, wear my J's all day, wear my Chucks all day, this, that, and the third. Bruh, my first 2 weeks at the barbershop, bruh, I complained about my feet all day, every day. Man, my feet was
them
hurting,
J's ain't comfortable to stand up in, man.
Yeah.
Man, what? J's or Converse, Chuck Taylor.
Converse.
Oh man, Chuck Taylor's
and
for
I
sure.
was mostly wearing Chucks.
They don't got no
And
cushion.
yeah, bro. So, and I was flipping. I was flipping off on hair and everything. But I don't work construction.
He was tripping.
I was mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? My professional image was out of there.
Yeah.
So I quickly realized I couldn't wear what I wanted to wear. when it came to the free time, going and coming as I please, I quickly realized that I couldn't be everywhere like I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I needed a system and a schedule.
Yeah.
When it comes to having fast money every single day and dealing with money every single day, I realized that I needed a system and I needed to manage my money better. So the thing that I wanted for barbering, I quickly realized like my system and my lifestyle, my business style, it wasn't parallel. It wasn't the same.
It wasn't in alignment.
It wasn't, man.
Yeah.
And I quickly realized that, man. And I knew something had to change. And I slowly started just to do things a little bit different. I changed my shoes. I changed what I wore. Then I realized that I had to have a consistent schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I started working a consistent schedule. But even before I got into barbering full time, I was working part time. Then I slowly progressed into full time. But let me tell you this: the first shop I was in, I counted. I seen 14 barbers come and go. I seen 14 barbers. I stopped counting at 14, and I would look around and I would see so many different infractions, so many things wrong, so many things that is not business minded or is ethical.
Yeah.
You know, from the owner to the so-called top barber to the newbie. I seen so many things going on, so many wrong things going on. So I knew what not to be like and I knew what to be like, but I knew more so off what not to be like.
Yeah.
And I started molding my own business by pretty much being different, building that separation. So the way I talked to clients was different. The way I took phone calls was different. And I learned that if I'm just different, build separation, I'll start to see the increase in my business. And I had a direct increase. But as far as Kutterconcepts, now, when I got on social media, got on Instagram, got on, just different platforms on the internet, that's when just my vision for barbering expanded. Because at first I could only see as far as down the street.
Yeah, you was exposed to more.
Yeah, I was exposed to more. And that's when Kutterconcepts slowly started to give birth. Well, that's when my vision for barbering started to evolve. And shortly after, Kutterconcepts came about. But, Brad, you know a little bit about how Kutterconcepts came about.
Oh, because it was from that class?
So the class had a lot to do with it.
Oh, okay.
The class had a lot to do with it. So let me explain. So at first I was going by King Cutter.
Yeah, I remember that. That's how I met you.
Yeah, bro. So I was pushing King Cutter, but I realized that King Cutter was somewhat hit a plateau. Because King Cutter is kind of urban a little bit. And even the way I spelt it, KINGKUTTA.
Yeah.
King Cutter. So it was more so, go ahead.
No, I was just saying,
Yeah, bro. So it was more so kind of urban a little bit. And I started to learn about the certain type of clientele I wanted to attract. So I at least had to spell Cutter with a ER instead of a A.
With an A.
You know what I'm saying? Let me start that.
Yeah.
So fast forward, when I started doing classes and having mentors or whatnot, I signed up for the class with Israel, and that's where I met Brad. And we got into the class, and Israel, he was talking to us about a name for our educational platform. And we started thinking or whatnot. We were brainstorming, and I believe you, Brad, you already had a name.
Yeah.
Another level of barbering. So I was like, man, I'm thinking of mine. And I was like, Cutter. I want to keep the Cutter name. Cutter. And I thought Kutterconcept. And I brung it up and y'all loved it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all loved it or whatnot. I got a good, y'all received the name. And because I was thinking, like, we're aiming to educate, we're aiming to teach and influence. So I'm like, concepts, that has to do with ideas. It has to do with innovation. It has to do with, working the brain. So I was like, okay, Kutterconcept. And even now today, like my slogan and what I use for certain campaigns for Kutterconcepts is a unique concept of barbering. Kutterconcepts, a unique concept of barbering. So my aim is for everything we do to be unique from how clients book. And I know you're going to be able to help me with that later on, but with how clients book, how we receive and service our clients from the moment they walk in to the meet and greet, to the consultation, to the service, to, building rapport, to the end of the service, to sending them out the right way, like the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
My aim is for everything to be unique, to be a different concept. So that's how Kutterconcepts came about.
Man, Lasana, I want to go back to something that you said when you started speaking earlier. You were saying that, you approached work a different way, which was, going to the shop with J's, just dressing kind of urban. And I want our viewers to understand, who might be listening, who come from a particular environment. It's easy to come in that way because that's what you see, that's what you know. Barbershops are, especially in the Black community, they're portrayed in a certain manner on TV. And then, just being in different environments, those same barbershops are seen a certain way. But you had the mindset to be like, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I envision for myself. Like, this is cool. No offense to anybody who wants to be, that way. But I see myself as more of a professional. I see myself as more of a businessman. Let me change the way I spell cutter. Like, that's is something as small as that. But it makes all the difference in the world. Like, people pay attention to detail. When people are on these booking platforms, they're on Google, they're looking at, is this person professional? We already have the stigma of Black, young, they might be a hood barber, urban barber.
Right.
And that's a misperception because not everybody is that way. There are a lot of Black professional barbers in our industry, especially now. You mentioned something about, I'm dealing with fast money all day. I want to have a system in place to where I can track my money, one, to be able to afford things in the future and show that I have a paper trail. And then two, I just need a system in place because taking walk-ins and the pen and paper method, like that's old. Like, we're not in that era no more. Like, it worked for a period of time, but now we have technology. So just listening to you saying all these things, it's like, I hope our viewers who are getting into the industry or they're currently in the industry and looking to elevate, which is why we had this platform. I hope they paid attention to what you just said, because you just completely changed your mindset. And now you're in your own shop, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. Yep. 100%. Yep.
Yeah. You're in your own shop, and just seeing the content that you post on social media, like, you're very professional. You're always aiming to help the next man come up. You always, be an example, basically. And that's why we appreciate having someone like you on our platform to speak about such.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. 100%.
I remember when, after we had took that class, it was a couple months after, maybe even a year after, I don't remember. But I remember you invested a lot in your equipment and you changed how you were doing your recordings. You changed everything. And you wanted to put out the best product that you possibly could. And I think that your ability to change and to improve whenever you see an area for growth is something that everybody needs to pay attention to, because so many people get stuck in a mindset where they know that something needs to change, but they just keep thinking, right? They never take action. And so I always talk about the difference between a growth mindset and a level up mindset. So a growth mindset is the awareness of the fact that something needs to change. Like, you're aware, you're conscious, you see that, man, I don't like how it is and I want to do something different, but you just stay processing the information versus taking action so that you can do it. But the level up mindset has everything to do with you taking action on the changes that you want to see. And that's what I've seen you do multiple times. I mean, just the fact that we were in that class together, you had invested, you took action, and then you were in the class and you were learning. And then once you got the information, you were participating, you gave your names, like, what y'all think about this? And all of this stuff was you taking action on things. And if we as barber and beauty professionals, we're trying to grow, don't get stuck in your mind trying to think your way out of stuff. You're going to have to learn how to start to try the things that you have in your mind already. Put some action to it. And once you put some action to it, you'll start to grow in it. And then you'll start to see how you can improve what you're doing. But start doing something and don't just get stuck in your mind. And I suffer from that personally. I just think about a lot of stuff, analysis paralysis, but I'm starting to learn more and more. The more I'm trying to grow, you cannot just keep thinking, Brad. You have to do something. Put
Action.
yourself out there.
Do.
Yeah, put yourself out there. So I just wanted to commend you on your ability to take advantage of the opportunities that you see when you like, man, you know what? I want to do better, and you'll invest in it. You'll go get you some new camera equipment, or you'll start to get a backdrop. You'll start to invest in your wardrobe. Like, you put a lot of money into Kutterconcepts, just the physical branding of yourself. Like Delmar, he does the same thing with the Royal Luxe grooming or the Prince logo stuff. Like, you guys are investing in yourselves so that you can present yourselves differently to the people that you are wanting to serve, because then they'll respect who.
Don't leave yourself out of that.
100%, right, for sure. I'm like,
don't leave yourself out of that
too, bro. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. But we're all doing that in different ways. So I hope that the viewers definitely hear that and don't fear taking action on the changes that you want to see. Level up.
But man, you said something earlier, man, about the growth and level up, the growth aspect and level up.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn that's the main essence of business. Business is always evolving. Business is always changing. It's always interchanging. It's always developing. You know what I'm saying? So we have to have that same mindset as business owners, as barbers, as, you know, as students of the game. We got to have that same mindset, man. It's progressive. Like, a lot of times, because I done had this same syndrome as far as feeling like I know what I need to know. I done obtained what I need to obtain, and I'm good. Mm-hmm. And exactly when I thought like that, I started to get stale. Yeah. I started to, you know what I'm saying? Even when it came to me trying to learn and receive information, I couldn't do it because my mind and my heart was already made up. Yeah. You know, so like, man, we gotta be progressive. We can't ever say, oh, well, I've been in the game for 5, 10, you know, barbers always like to say they've been in the game for 20, 30 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you don't got
you still can't grow no more.
Exactly. And I'm like, you've been in the game for that long, but you're still in the same situation. Like, come on.
Right.
You know? Right. And with your brand, there is another level to barbering. There is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's always going to be that. It's always going to be that. It doesn't matter. There's this class that I'm coming out with in the near future, and it's called How to Be a Ceilingless Barber, right? There's always going to be another level for you to get to, just period. Like, it doesn't matter what height you reach in this industry, there's always going to be something that you can grow to. But if you don't remove the limits that you have in your mind about yourself, and you don't remove your money from the limits that are just stuck to your time, your body, and your energy, if you don't remove those limits, then you are going to continue to hit a ceiling, and you'll always start to feel burnt out. You'll always start to feel like you're not being appreciated for what you're doing. You'll always start to feel like, I need more. But that's because you ran into your ceiling. But once you start to learn how to remove your ceiling, then you can start to, your potential for success is to the sky, right? 100%. But you have to get the ceiling out from over you, and a lot of times it's going to be inside your mind, as well as your money being tied to your body and to your time and to your energy. So it's really good to hear you all speaking about this, because when you think about growing in this industry, you cannot limit yourself. Don't be your own limitation. Let yourself grow. Let yourself grow, but you have to try stuff. You got to get out there. So Lasana, talk to us a little bit about some of the stuff that you have tried, because I've seen you get into stuff and I've seen you get out of stuff. Delmar, you have done the same, where you've gotten into stuff, but then you've gotten out of stuff. And how do you all go through that process? And this is to both of you. How do you all go through that process and not feel like a failure in something, right? But understand that this was a learning lesson. Instead of a loss, this was a lesson. How do you guys go through that and continue to move forward in your profession and grow inside your businesses? All right, cool, man. Hey, bro, that's a real dope question, because I'm ready to do content about that. I'm actually going to do content about that in like at the end of the year. I do want to talk about like my failures and stuff like that, and not even just failure, like my lesson. You know, because we all know that failures have to turn into lessons, and lessons into blessings. But man, bro, it's many things that I done did put my hand to do. You like, I'm about to preach. Nah. Go ahead on, Pastor. Yeah, head on now. Take your time. Chop the wood and let the chips fly, preacher.
Hey, look, I heard a preacher tell another preacher, he said, "Preacher, walk home." I said, Lord, it gets good. preach and walk on. So boy, it's gonna be a long walk home. Boy, you better preach. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But
man.
no, go ahead. What were you just about to say?
All right, man. So, man, like, where do I even start, man? So here's one thing I had to realize about myself. I had to realize this about myself. I needed to learn and understand my identity as a barber and who I was as a barber and who I'm supposed to be as a barber. I found myself before I knew who I was, trying different things out. Not even trying different things out. My mindset was to go full-fledged with these things. And when I failed, I had to reevaluate myself and really search myself and figure out who I was as a barber. So let me tell you one thing that I had put my hand to do. Man, bro. So I had this big old elaborate plan to take over the barber industry, right?
Yeah.
I'm about to conquer the barber industry.
Yeah.
Like
we all did.
Yeah. Hey, bro. I was up all night thinking about it, looking at the ceiling. Hey, I rub my hand like Birdman.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. I just knew this was going to come to pass, and me and my wife were going to upgrade the house, and I was going to start doing tours, but here's what it was.
You said tours.
Tours on big stage. Nah, man, but so I wanted to come out with my own product line for barbers, as far as like tools and utensils, combs, brushes. I had like the little sprayer and everything, right?
Yeah.
So like I had it all mapped out, and it was gonna be called Kutterconcepts. We're gonna have scissors and everything, scissors with Kutterconcepts on it and everything. So
yeah.
So I wrote this stuff down, and I said, okay, boom, it's time to take some action. So my black self, I go straight to Alibaba. Hey, look. Man, my son's trying to bust in the room, man. Hey, look, I'm thinking I'm doing something. I'm telling my wife, this is a website only for business owners. It's exclusive type stuff like that. So So I go to Alibaba full of excitement. And at that time, I got the resources and the capital to do certain things, bro. Mm-hmm. So I'm negotiating with the people and whatnot. And I wind up getting like those crocodile hair clips that you can clip in people's ear, the little cool looking ones. Yeah. That were like, the material was different. It was kind of like a rubberized, like a soft rubberized type deal. I got that. I got some bands for people like with dreads or long hair to tie up. I had got the continuous spray bottles. I got a whole lot of stuff. And I went through the process. They shipped it all, in increments, depending on the...
Oh, little man that came through.
What's
up,
man?
Want to be on the podcast.
Come on, bro.
Be on the podcast.
He said, where my daddy
What's
at?
up, man?
Say hello.
Future barber in the making.
100%, man. Say hello.
What's his name?
Junior. Lasana Junior.
What's up, Lasana Junior?
LJ.
LJ.
Yeah, LJ. We call him LJ. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he got a fresh blend too. Look like daddy cut him up.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah, man. I had to give him a little quick chop, man, on Sunday after church. Yeah, man. So this like my little shadow. This is my tether right here. He always with me. So so I got all this stuff from Alibaba. It came. I remember being at the shop, at my old shop where I used to work at. I'm cutting on a Saturday or something like that. I'm cutting. Them people drop off like a UPS truck dropped off 12 big old boxes, like huge boxes. And I also got a whole bunch of neck strips. It was huge boxes of neck strips, like the circle ones that look like toilet paper.
Yeah.
I'm doing so, bro. I'm excited or whatnot. So bottom line, all this stuff came in, and I'm like, okay, well. And at the same time, I'm working on my website. It was Kutterconcepts.com, and I had a few things on there. It was a website I made through GoDaddy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was a GoDaddy website, and bro, I quickly realized that, bro, I don't know how to market this stuff. Like, I don't know how to get brand ambassadors for this stuff. I don't, like, the packaging wasn't all that great. And bottom line, still got a gang of stuff in my garage, bro.
Oh, really? To this day?
Bro. Huh?
To this day?
To this day?
Yeah, this was like a couple years ago.
I know, but it's still there.
Yeah. Not everything.
Wow.
I had got rid of some of the stuff, but I still got some boxes in my garage. Like I did some deals with some hold on, Pop. Hold on. I did some deals with like some local what's it called? Like beauty supplies and stuff like that. And got a lot of it off. You know, I done did a few stuff on Facebook Marketplace, but I still got stuff in there. But I realized like I'm a barber. I'm great at what I do. I'm great at, you know, cutting and talking with people. But when it came to that aspect, because that's a whole nother business model.
Yeah.
And I realized I wasn't fine, and I didn't really have no knowledge of business of that business model. And I just thought, well, I'm a barber. We need this kind of things, this, that, and the third. I know barbers, and I just thought it was going, you know, it was going to take off. Yeah. And the reality slapped me in my face, bro. I spent money, didn't get no return on my investment. You know, I did below breaking even. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, bro.
You was know, broken uneven.
Yeah, bro. I was like, man, I was scratching my head like this here, you know. But
Delmar,
you know,
man, he experienced some of the same thing. I don't know if it was like you didn't break even, D, but I know that you put out products before. I bought a lot of Delmar's stuff, from the shampoo to the conditioner. I bought his razor blade holders that he had. So I've been investing in him as well. But so I know that you know D. So share some of your stories, man.
Yeah, man, I'm kind of the same thing, man. Like, I was always at the essence of I wanted to have my own products. I wanted to have my name on stuff. So first I had to come up with a brand name. And, you know, y'all know the story about me coming up with the Prvnce. But once I established that brand, then I started stamping my name on stuff. So my first creation was, it was apparel. So I had my t-shirts and I got into the clothing industry, trying to tap into it. I sold a few things, you know, thanks to my people like Brad and other supporters. But it just wasn't feasible. So I got out of it, broke even, didn't go overkill. I just broke even. And then I got into the razor market. So I had 2 razor holders. I had the Prvnce and then the Prvnce 2. And those sold very well. The first completely sold out. The second, I had a few left over. So I just started giving them out to barbers just to get it out there. And then I quit with that. And then over the pandemic,
why did you quit with the razor holders if they were selling good?
The Prvnce 1, it sold well. The Prvnce 2, it kind of like slowed down. So I just was like, I don't know. I'm one of those people, if it ain't working, cool. I'll try an idea. I'm not afraid to try stuff. But if it ain't working, I'll just scratch it and, you know, go move on to something else. I'm not, you know, gung-ho to, you know, if it gotta work. If it don't work, I'm moving on. Right. So during the pandemic, we were shut down in Louisiana for like 3 months. So, man, my hands started itching after that second week, bro. I ain't used to not working. So I started doing my research. Like, you know, your hustling instincts kick in. Like, I got a family to provide for. So I started doing research on how to make products. I was making bath bombs. Don't laugh, Brad. I was making bath bombs. I was making wave butter, and I was making skin butter. I tried the mask, but it didn't work. Black charcoal mask, that didn't work. But then that led. So my first night of me selling products, I opened it up on my website. That also did through GoDaddy. I opened my store online, and I woke up the next morning to like an X amount of dollars in my account. I was like, whoa! Like I really did this overnight. So that was a good feeling, man. Waking up to like some money that, you know, I had to put in the work to make the products by hand, but that was just good to sell something overnight that I didn't have to spend a whole lot of time doing versus like being in the shop. So then that led to me getting in contact with the distributor out in California, and I had the Prvnce Gold Label products. And then, you know, like I said, my people like Brad and different ones was buying the shampoo, the conditioner, the wave pomade. I had the holding spray and some curling cream. But that went well. But man, I just kind of got tired of trying to keep up with the inventory and having to ship out products. So I scratched that idea too. So now I'm looking for something else to make passive income. Hopefully I can get on with ALB and do whatever I got to do to support ALB.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that everybody got to understand, man. In this industry, you have to get you some passive income, some kind of way. Some kind of way you got to find it, because it goes back to those limits. It goes back to that ceiling that you're going to inevitably run into, which is going to be, is if your money is tied to your time, it's tied to your body, or it's tied to your energy, you're going to hit a ceiling. You can't help it. It's inevitable. And so you have to learn how to remove those ceilings. But focusing your ability to create different streams of income is a necessity. Like, it's a necessity in this industry. However, you cannot sacrifice your main money or the active income that you do have from behind the chair. You can't sacrifice that trying to go do something different. You have to understand how to stabilize this. That's what you were talking about earlier, Lasana, where you understand the numbers that's going on with your own actual business, so that you can make sure that you have the right systems in place. And this thing can almost operate autopilot, in regards to the function of the business. You that can operate almost on autopilot, and all you do is got to go to work. But then after you get off those work hours, then you can be building the passive income, platform, whatever you're trying to do. But you do definitely need to get some passive income, and you also have to keep your business that you have right now in a good standing.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, and that passive income that you're speaking of, man, that that helps pay for vacations. That helps, if you have anything medically going on, you can take the necessary time needed to recover. And I'm thinking more about that too, man, because I ain't no spring chicken no more. I'm still young, but I know the older that we get, our body is so young turkey. But now, I know that the older we get, our body is, prone to, medical issues and stuff like that. It's inevitable, but we do what we can to take care of ourselves, on the mental side and physically as well as emotionally and financially. So,
and you realize, man, passive income is really the best way that we're going to be able to get PTO. A lot of people don't even understand.
That is our PTO.
That's the best way you go get PTO. I mean, some people pay for Aflac and different things of that nature, and hopefully they'll, if they get hurt or something like that. But if you just go on vacation, you ain't going to get no money for that. But passive income will pay you while you're not working. And that's the key. Like, you have to figure out how to do that. And that's exactly what my program is about, is just really trying to show barbers how to remove the ceiling. How do you get from being blocked by your own limitations? You have to tap into that. So as time goes on, Delmar, yes, definitely you're going to be able to be a part of ALB and everything that I got going on. But it's really just about that. Like, if you are trying to grow and you are trying to get to another level of barbering for yourself, then you have to think higher than where you currently are. And higher than what you currently are is going to have to bust through those ceilings. You're going to have to eliminate those ceilings.
100%.
So Lasana, man, I got one last question before we go, because Delmar, he got to get out of here. But
Lasana, that mean you owe us a part 2.
Oh, I'm with it.
You with it?
I said I ain't ducking no smoke. I'm with it.
Look,
I ain't ducking.
I'm putting you on the spot. Me and Brad work out the details, but how about we have you back on as our next guest for part 2? Since we had to cut it short, I owe you more time, man.
Yeah, he got more. He got more water in that well.
Yeah, he do.
More water in that well, man.
So the next episode will be a continuation of this one.
All right,
100%. 100%.
So you telling me don't ask my question then, huh, Delmar? That's what you said.
Now you can ask it, because I know you're a man of many questions. But I do want to have our very next guest. Real, our very next
that was
guest
a subtle shot if you talk too much. That's
no, man. I always tell you,
you're a man of many questions.
I always tell you talented. You are talented in that department. but
hey, look.
Lasana would definitely be part 2 will be our very next guest is Kutterconcepts again. So you'll be the first person to double back to back episode.
Hey, look, man, look here. Hey, man,
back.
Making history.
But we
yes,
can.
Sir.
yeah, I'll hold off then. I'll hold off on my question since Delmar shut me down publicly, and I feel like that's okay.
He was real tactful with that. He was very tactful.
It was like a polite get out. Like,
boy, he did that smooth, boy.
Man, this is a 20-year friendship, man. So you kind of learn how to be merciful with some things.
He switched into Tay Diggs from what's that movie with that Malibu Most Wanted, the gangster, the gangster Tay Diggs.
Not
you let those Koreans take your hands, whatever he said. Yeah. Hold on, Pop.
On that note, we're gonna go ahead and end the show, man.
Yeah, man. But this is
our very next episode. We will have Kutterconcepts back on and Tupac as well.
All right, well, we are out.